You are listening to Charting Wealth's comprehensive review and forecast for the week beginning Monday, May the 1st, 2017. Let's jump right into these charts. We see stocks are mixed. The S&P 500 down for the day on Friday. The Qs, that is the NASDAQ 100, up for the day on Friday. Gold up and 20-year Treasury bonds up. Now, let's jump right into how this week has gone. It has been a big up week for stocks, both the S&P 500 and the Qs. We see on our weekly chart a big green up candle blowing through both the 2-day and the weekly trend line. We also have an even bigger wick on top of that candle. However, the derivative oscillator didn't lose a lot of energy. We do see that the PPO, the price percent oscillator, is sliding sideways, tending up, and we see that the red signal line is heading down, but we don't have any confirmed crossover. Again, we ended the week on Friday a little down. If we look at our 2-day chart, we have seen a crossing going up on the 2-day chart. We are not calling off our down move on the S&P 500. We still have our weekly vertical crossover that occurred back on the 3rd of April. The market did move down for a while, then bounded up, really started moving up on the 21st of April. And again, the last thing we see, the last 2-day candle, is a red open box down candle, but we do have that crossover, so it means that it is probably not a good idea to be in an up move. A down move. Well, an up move either. A down move on the S&P. And for those of you thinking, oh, maybe I should jump into an up move. No. Why? Because we're in a confirmed down move on our weekly vertical trend line, our weekly vertical crossover rather. That is telling us that we are going down. We did break that trend line. So we shall wait and see. When we see the S&P 500 either roll back over, as it did on the 2-day chart on the 16th of March, heading down, then of course we can, I take that back, it rolled over on the 14th of March, the 2-day rolled over. Then we can jump in unless the up move on the 2-day chart is strong enough to pull the weekly over, which is exactly what we have seen happen as we transition over to the Qs, the NASDAQ 100. We've seen that happen. Let's take a look. We do have a new call. We have had the Qs cross back over, going up on the NASDAQ 100's weekly chart. It crossed over 2 weeks ago on the week ending the 13th of April, and it has now crossed back over, going up. A couple of notes of caution. We still have the derivative oscillator in the negative, and this is a slight crossover going up. So again, just be careful. We do have the 2-day crossing right about the same time. That actually occurred on the 2-day candle ending on Thursday. So again, we only have the first day of the 2-day candle on Friday. Of course, everything's rolled over and started moving up very rapidly on the 2-day candle ending on Friday the 21st. And we've seen 4 and actually really 3.5. So we have 7 days of up movement as far as the Qs goes, but it was strong enough to pull over our weekly chart. So be aware of that. If you can find a good jumping in point on Monday, going up, then of course you can look to practice trade that. Now again, those of you who are looking at this saying, well man, the weekly chart failed us. Well, it has for the time being. It started over going down, rolled over going down, and then within 3 weeks moved over going back up again. It did that once before back in June of last year. It actually did the same thing. But when you go back and you look over and over and over again, you see that is rare. It will start to cross over about once a year, and you can say fool us. But again, once a year when the rest of the moves are as strong as they have, don't forget, we are up 16+% just so far this year using our weekly vertical crossovers to help us. Will things always go our way? No, they won't. Will we not practice trade and do our thing because things don't go our way one time? No, we will continue to follow the rules and to do the right thing, and I won't back away from that. I will not listen to anybody who's going to try to be negative on it. You can bury your head in the sand, say the charts don't work because they didn't work one time, or you can continue to keep your nose to the grindstone, practice, figure out when to get in, how to get out, and keep with the program. Because, as we have seen over and over and over and over again, those of you who've been with us, this works. Does it work every time? No. Nothing works every time when it comes to the market. Why? Because we do not control all the variables in the market, but we can trend follow and we can find things working the majority of the time. So again, remember, on Monday, if things are looking good, go ahead and prepare to get yourself into a weekly vertical crossover trade. That's at 10:30. Look at how these charts look, and if it makes sense to jump in, jump in. Okay, let's keep moving through these things. Next, we're going to go on the weekly chart to TLT, the 20-year bond fund. Remember, it crossed over going up, oh my word, back on the week ending the 3rd of February. That was a crossover going up, did go up for a while, up through the 24th of February, then rotated over going down, never crossed back over going down. 2-day chart did, and of course that would have been a good time to get out and wait for things to recover. And once things did recover and the market started moving up again on that 2-day chart where we saw the crossover on the 22nd of March, we had a great long up move over many 2-day candles. And then, of course, that broke the 2-day trend line back on the 21st of April. And we have seen basically 3.5 days of down movement. We don't have a crossover yet going down on that 2-day chart, but we have lost a lot of energy. So be aware of that for those of you who got into an up trade on TLT, and it was a long time coming. Started off at the very beginning, looked decent, rolled over, and again, we're going by our weekly chart. And how do you play this? Well, it depends on the actual ETF, but the way that TLT is working is using, once you have that weekly vertical crossover, that 2-day chart to help bring you in and out as it crosses over going down, a good out signal, crosses over going up, a good get in signal, and then of course you can revert to your 2-hour and or your 4-hour chart for your real trigger on that. Now let's keep moving through these charts. We're again on the weekly, going to go to our last chart, which is gold. Remember, gold crossed over on our weekly chart going up back on the week ending the 27th of January, went up for 5 weeks, topped out on the 3rd of March, pulled back for 2 weeks, and rotated over on that 2-day chart, and then rotated back over on the 2-day chart. And as I recall, that was a Friday. Yes, the 24th of March going up, and then spun up very nicely until that 2-day chart on the 17th of April. And then, of course, it broke and has moved down 4 2-day candles. And this last candle is actually an up candle. It's only forming the half, but it is crossed over going down on that 2-day chart. So warning. Now let's again plug into, remember how prescient our 4-hour chart is. It seems to work over and over and over again. Well, if that 4-hour chart over the course of this next week rotates over going up, it's laying right on the weekly trend line. If it's going to rotate over and start heading back up and we're still in a weekly vertical crossover, you might, my friends, just want to try a trade on that. That is a practice trade on GLD going up. So keep your eye out for that in the coming week. That is where we are as we analyze things as we end the week and we end the month of April and we go into the new month of May. Please remember, we've got lots of good training at the website chartingwealth.com. We love to hear from you. You learn the most when the market is acting screwy as it has for the last several days. That is when you hone yourself on what are your good indicators on each chart, because they all work a little differently, on when to get out, when to stay in, when to make those kinds of calls. You have questions, problems, concerns, we love to hear from you. Write us cw@chartingwealth.com. I'm telling you, my friends, learning to read these charts can be worth millions and millions of dollars to you. We do this, we donate our time, we donate our energy because we want you to learn how this really works. We've never charged for anything that we do. We don't plan on charging for anything that we do. This is our gift back to you. It took so long for me to learn how these charts work, spent so much time and energy, burned out so many times, only to jump back in and do well, and then relearn old things. And then finally, after doing this, going on 15 years, okay, I started honing all this down maybe 5-6 years ago and really encapsulated it. I thank you for being with us every day. This podcast makes me a better trader, a better investor, because I get to visit the market with you every day. And I learn so much more teaching than I ever did sitting behind a computer by myself. Your feedback is invaluable to us. We appreciate that. We hope that what we do for you, you find valuable. What do we ask? We ask that you spend 10 minutes a day with us. A little bit more on Fridays over the weekends for this comprehensive review and forecast, because we're really trying to encapsulate everything that went on over the last 5 days. So it takes a little bit longer, but I'm telling you, 10 minutes a day as you listen to the podcast, fill out that daily market worksheet. And then as you're listening, of course, to the comprehensive review and weekly review and forecast, you fill out that weekly market worksheet. If you don't know what I am talking about, you need to sign up for the podcast that we send out every day. With that, you will get in the notes that come with that podcast, with that email, you will have links to our weekly market worksheet and our daily market worksheet. You'll also get links to our How to Read a Stock Chart video, as well as the layout that we use at freestockcharts.com. For Apple users, you need to use Safari. You won't be able to use freestockcharts.com on any of the other things. So you're going to have to use Safari just for that. But sit there, fill out your daily market worksheet, your weekly market worksheet. Spend that 10 minutes. There's something magical about putting pen to paper to fill that out. You will create your own trader's journal that will be invaluable for you. And you will find that over time, you will get better and better and better at doing this. You need to set up an online brokerage account, a virtual account, and you need to practice trading. If you just look at this, fill out your daily market worksheet, your weekly market worksheet, that'll help. But I'm telling you, if you really want to supercharge the training, you also have got to do practice trades. Buy in, sell, get out. You'll take losses at times, you'll take wins at times, but you want to get good at this. And the only way to keep score is to do that virtual trading. And when you get good at it, when you can trade time after time after time and do it successfully, then and only then can you make up your own mind as to whether or not to start spending your own money or investing your own money. Okay, again, it's going to take some time, but it's going to be the most valuable 10 minutes that you spend every day if you will just focus on it and do what needs to be done. Again, write us at cw@chartingwealth.com. Go there, sign up for the daily podcast that we put out. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also go to iTunes and subscribe to us there. Say something nice about us. Give us a 5-star rating. You guys have made us as high as like number 4 in the world in stock trading, stock charting, podcasting. Thank you so much, my friends. Again, God bless. Take care from chartingwealth.com. Stay positive. Good things will come from your investment in this.